So
What's in how long?
we're now live.
We're live.
We're live?
Yep.
But like we're like live on the internet?
Yeah, I did this a different way, and it's now very fucking live.
You did that just as Ken was asking me, is there anything you don't want to talk about?
And I'll ask you live. In the DM.
It's all good. Probably start the show.
Good idea.
Sorry for that. We'll let people join for a second. Let's see. We have people on Periscope coming in. You guys can't see this because we're still using Restream, those motherfuckers from last week, but we're going through their stream like service. They're like RTMP. So it's going to work out better this time. I can see that it's not, we're not screwed. So I guess with that, probably let this, get this show on the road. In like, I don't know, like 5-6 minutes. No, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. What do you think? Let people join.
You guys are so close to the camera.
I know. We can just check on the Undefined, actually, that it is up. Let's see. Are we actually streaming? Oh, look at that. We are. Indeed. All right. Let's get the show on the road. Welcome to the Undefined Podcast. I'm Jared Palmer.
And I'm Ken Wheeler. And today we have a fucking very special guest, none other than Mark Dalgleish. Mark is an ex-meme lord. You've probably seen a ton of his memes. He's the co-creator of CSS Modules, the creator of Playroom, and does some CSS shit at Seek Jobs. Mark, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ken. Hey, Jared. What's up?
Not much. This episode is sponsored by G2I. We'll talk about them later in the show, but it's an awesome place you can hire React and React Native developers. But without further ado, what up, Mark? Meme Lord to Meme Lord.
Yeah, welcome. Or ex Meme Lord. That's my new title. That's the first
He's an ex Meme Lord. Jared picked up the torch.
I guess.
Right in time for all the TikTok shit.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like it's.
I feel like even back then there was healthy competition. You always had good memes, Jared.
I forget which one it was, but like one of yours was by far and away the greatest one of all time. I forget which one, but it was one of them was like absolutely insane. I had one that I thought was the best one. I was like, I don't know, a couple thousand. Like I was like, it got like 8 million views or something like that. But it was like the dumbest one I've ever done. But yours.
Can I ask you something? Like I don't meme, right? I don't meme that much, but like you guys do, or formerly did. Like, what is the meme like? Does something hit you and you're like like do you go on like a website and like you see like a funny image and you're like, I have the caption for this?
Well, there's different levels. So for me, like what got me into it at the start was it was more of an inspiration thing. Like there's a message I wanted to get across, and that was actually the most effective way to do it. And I quickly learned that on the internet, that is like the most effective way to get a point across. But if you want to start doing it every day, like I did, like keeping up the content, you can't just wait for inspiration. I would have to go like hunting for memes, scrolling just for days and seeing so many bad ones.
There's a lot of bad memes out there.
Yeah, just desperately trying to look for a good template. Basically, I'm almost looking past the actual content of the meme and going, what's a good template that I haven't seen before. It was kind of pathetic, really, in hindsight, but that was my life.
Yeah, it's fun. So I agree.
I had a pretty good meme one time. Yeah, actually, it was my favorite meme I've ever made, and it was like this thing where it was the evolution of the design of the trash can in Windows.
Yeah. Right.
And it showed like fucking like 6 iterations of it, and then the last one I put a Jira logo.
Oh, God.
And that was my best meme.
The one I remember of yours, Jared's, that in my head is the video of the stack of rafts.
Yeah, that one had like
down the river,
70,000 likes or something like.
That was amazing.
So like, so yeah, that just like, I don't know, but I think with the memes is like, one, if you think like on a dollar for dollar basis, it's like pretty much the best way to gain exposure. If you think about like what people would pay for like boosting an ad for something, it's like literally the best way to do it. It used to be better. It seems like, from my understanding of like how Twitter works and my like totally qualitative yet slightly quantitative analysis, whatever loophole that Mark and I were exploiting for like over some summer ago is gone.
Is that
like,
right?
Yeah, I'd say it's like mostly. I mean, every once in a while I get one or two, but like whatever the crazy, like the ones we were that when I wrote that one that had like 70,000 likes or whatever, I wrote 2 in a row basically that were very similar to that, like very similar style memes, and back to back they like went one had like 25,000, one had 75,000 likes.
Fucking platinum records all day long.
Insane, right? Of course, it's just nuts. But that some of that's just luck, and some are funnier than others. But that one was particularly like stupid. They like it was funny, but it wasn't like that funny. So you just need the right people to like retweet it, and there's like a lot of luck to that like virality part of the whole.
Someday there's going to be like a documentary on VH1, the meme lords, and you guys are going to talk nostalgically about this.
Yeah, basically
more nostalgically than we're talking about it now.
Yeah, I was going to say we're doing that right now.
Yeah, I mean, my rule with it
back in the
like,
meme game.
If you see something and it's like, if it takes you a long time to come up with a caption, it's not good. That's like my like. But if it just comes to me like instantly, like impulsively, then I'll like put it out there.
That's when it's always the good shit.
That's when it's by far the best.
Right off the cuff.
Just pretty much. But anyways.
So Mark, you like design systems.
Your design
system.
That's a good question. I feel like you so many Twitter fights are just about the meaning of that term. To me, what it means is designing in code, but a lot of people get upset about that. Because to me, like the code is what makes it a system rather than just some guidelines. That's how I think about it.
It enforces it, or at least provides that structure.
Yeah, like to me, system implies like it's a running system, but that's probably my developer bias. That I think that's why it was a bit of a shock to me when I talk to people that see it completely differently, and I was like, I just misunderstood the term. I don't know if we have a good term for what I think of as design systems. That's the problem. Like purely technical design systems. People sort of go, oh, that's just component libraries or something like that. But like, I don't think that's a fair.
What's that made up of?
It's only a design system, first of all, if it's from a special area of Silicon Valley. Otherwise, it's a component library. It's like sparkling versus champagne.
Well, I've talked about this with people before where like there's a separation between like a component library that's just like lets you do whatever you want.
Right.
Like you can just hack it to pieces. Like it's sort of assuming that you're going to build something on top. Whereas to me, like a design system is more restrictive. It's like, hey, can I do this? And the design system says, no, you can't do that. Right.
So
we're trying to enforce some guidelines.
So like, when does that pay off? And what's the like ROI on that? Because I've worked on projects, and Ken, you've worked on projects that have used component libraries, use design systems that use all this shit. And there's definitely some ROI. And if you're like you just talk about that, if you're a small team, if you're a big team, where does it excel and where does it, hurt?
I'm not sure where the tipping point is, but like, I think you definitely know when you've crossed it, like where you've just got like, so where I work, you've got like lots of teams all working independently from each other, and you just end up with chaos. And I don't know, I guess it when you're at that point where, if I'm building an app myself and it's just 1 or 2 pages, I'm not going to be building a design system for it. So that's obviously the other extreme end of it, right? I guess it's just when you've got lots of people trying to work independently, is where you kind of need it, right? Like like Blueprint is the right design system.
It's the shit.
Or Palantir.
It's the shit though.
It is good, but like we use it as a component library. We don't use it as our design system, or unless maybe you do. Like
Ken, like you explain that a little bit more. Like so you're not using it for like all the look and feel. You're really just using it for its like kick-ass menu thing and good.
Yeah, like I'm using it as the component library, but I'm gonna fuck with it. But I feel like if you're at Palantir, you don't fuck with it.
Oh, you just
it's already like on brand.
But have you seen some of the Dribble stuff of like what Palantir does? Like I don't know if you've ever seen like their Dribble account. Like
no,
they actually do a lot more designing stuff than like you would think with Blueprint.
Really?
It's kind of interesting. It's worth a look. If you use Blueprint every day, it's worth just taking a gander at their Dribble, because it's like, oh, that's kind of nice looking actually. Shit, that's how you use it. That's at least what
I applied to work there, and they were like, "Fuck off."
No way.
Yeah.
But talk about your day to day, like actually how you bend Blueprint, Ken.
Can't.
Oh, you can't. That's right.
Yeah. But I can tell you that I'm working on my own design system.
Yes.
And it's not gonna have Blueprint. It's gonna be Tailwind based.
Ooh, shout out to Adam, who was on the show last week.
Yeah. So Mark, like, it's not just components, right? It's things like, I guess, like design tokens and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, so there's like hooks and stuff as well in terms of React stuff, but then there's if you want to write your own custom CSS, we use Treat, which is like our in-house. It's open source, but built in-house CSS and JS library, and it's all at build time, and that has a theming system. So you if you write your own Treat files, as we call them, if you write a themed style, you get access to the theme from our design system. So. Yeah, you can sort of do both.
While we're here, can you tell everybody what Playroom is?
Yeah, Playroom's a tool that came out, like I first created it as part of we've actually had two design systems at Seek, because our new one needed to be themed. Our old one wasn't, and it was pretty much just ground up, start again. So on the website for our old design system, what I found was like, designers would come and sit with me and be like, can I make this with the system? And they'd show me a picture, and I didn't have a really good way to just quickly start hacking out a UI based on that picture, like in the moment, right? Like I felt like, oh, give me a minute to get some dev environment set up or something like that. And so and the other thing as well was like the responsive nature of it. Like I wanted to be able to quickly see what it looked like across multiple screens. And so as a solution, I actually hacked this up in an airport in Romania after a conference. I saw a Code Sandbox talk and was really like inspired by it. And
Eves gets me going too.
Yeah, that's right.
Smart kid. Dude.
Yeah, he's cool. And so what I did was I just threw it together like in a few hours to start with. It was just like a code editor at the bottom of the screen, bottom half of the screen. Top half of the screen was just a row of iframes of different sizes. And the idea was like, I should just be able to write JSX, not like, I don't have to write a whole component. I was trying to make it as approachable as possible for non-developers, particularly. It was sort of how I measured how easy it was like, if I can just write the JSX, I don't have to, and the key thing is I don't have to import any components either, right? Like it's not like Code Sandbox where that's very much for developers. You have to sort of understand what you're doing in terms of like the package has got to be installed. You got to import everything you're going to use, that sort of thing. Like with this, it was like the whole design system is there, ready to go, just write JSX. And as you type, it's updating live in the iframes. And so it was kind of like this new type of design tool to me, where it was like very code first, very much like leveraging JSX and the ease of JSX to be a good design tool. And in my head, it was meant to be that sort of tool for like, if I'm just trying to translate a design into code quickly in front of someone and get that live feedback, like that was what it's for.
So like rapid iteration, but like almost like thoughtless rapid iteration, right? Like you're not a lot of, like mostly convention based, not I guess that's like, you think about like convention versus config, zero config, like truly zero config.
Yeah. Cause I guess the key thing is like, it's similar to Storybook in that you customize it, you plug in like your stuff into it. It like you give it the components and it will only have what you've given it.
So why not Storybook? Just to ask the question.
Yeah, this question comes up a lot. The simple difference to me is Playroom is a design tool, like in the sense that if you've made a Storybook and I go look at it, it's like I'm browsing a catalog, right? And maybe there's some things I can tweak or whatever, but more or less I'm looking at the examples you've given me in a catalog style. Whereas Playroom's more like, it's closer to something like a sketch or whatever, where it's like you're looking at a blank canvas and it's up to you to start writing some JSX if you want to see something, right? It has snippets as well. Like you can say, oh, I have no idea what to write. I'm new to this system. You can click a plus icon in the toolbar, or there's a keyboard shortcut, and it'll give you snippets. So you, as the maintainer of a company's Playroom, what you can do is you can be like, well, here are the components, but also here's a bunch of useful snippets, so you can move really fast as well.
I might have to fuck with this on my next thing.
I have to give you a personal demo. Like, I think what's hard about it is it's only as good as the stuff you put into it, right? So it's like, if you try and set it up yourself right off the bat, it might not seem super impressive because you haven't set it up.
Completely.
Yeah.
It feels like the inverse of what Storybook is doing, where like Storybook would, like, it feels like it would empower developers to play, right?
Well, what we found that's really cool is it's like it lets non-developers play.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They have no problem with the JSX.
You'll get it. It definitely depends on the person, but
Yeah.
we've definitely seen quite a few designers that seek picking up on this tool because it's so like we'll send them a Playroom link and be like, here, I mocked up your design in Playroom, right? And because we've worked so hard to make the components have really natural design language, right, and not be super techy in terms of the API decisions, they feel like they can go and make changes to it, and it's not that hard.
So let's touch on that. Like, what does that mean? What do you mean not techie? Like very designer friendly? Talk about that for a second.
Well, like anytime we're making a design decision, we're just like working really, really hard to try and make it so that if I'm a designer, at least reading this JSX, I feel like it's speaking my language.
Interesting. Can you give us an example of like a decision where you lean where it's that shows the difference?
I can give you good positive examples. I'm trying to think of good negative examples. Like devs like to just throw around meaningless words like container and stuff. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like we just love
reason
throwing
about.
Like in terms of just how we name things, you know,
Declarative.
Declarative.
Well, okay, we can get into the layout component stuff. Maybe this is a good example. So, because our approach to layout components is to try and almost avoid CSS terminology, and come up with our own. Like, let's just rethink how do we do layout and give it the names that make sense for us. Whereas I look at some other approaches to layout components, and it feels like it's just like flex and box and like it's all just like a thin veneer over the Flexbox API. Which is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that approach, but I think the trade-off is it can start to sound more intimidating than it.
Tell me you have a component called Stretchy Boy. You have to do it now. I'm sorry, it's a fucking requirement. You have to do that internally. This is a Stretchy Boy. This is a blocky boy.
Justify content space between isn't the most obvious thing if you've never heard those terminologies before.
Exactly. That's even to a developer. It's like, what am I forget which is which.
Yeah, here's my hot take. The Flexbox API is wrong. It should default to align center.
Not controversial.
Not controversial. I mean, maybe it's not controversial. Yeah.
Isn't the other one like the flex direction should have been column? Like
flex direction should also be column. It should not
React Native does that. Is that right? I'm not a React Native.
Well, no, they just make the view, the default of view in React Native is flex column. And so the lowest level, the like core primitive of the whole thing is by default flex display column, flex column. Yeah. Sorry.
I just thought about this. I was just thinking about this yesterday. I was thinking, in hindsight, it was a missed opportunity to make our primitive component in our system set the default of flex direction to column. That would have been nice.
I've seen sites.
It's not too late.
The old React, I want to say, I've seen some doc sites where like they make div and Instagram. Actually, that's what it was. Instagram actually used to have in their reset used to like set div to like display like the flex column, which was like on like top level div, which was, that's all or nothing. I think it's interesting with resets. Actually, resets I think are one of the hardest parts of design systems. Like you can change all the shit you want, but going back and changing some basic top level preset global thing can be so fucking devastating. Like moving something to Tailwind and getting that pre-flight, like that new normalized thing that they call pre-flight, or just like moving to something with normalized CSS or to away from it. Like, oh my goodness. That's like the one part of this whole thing that I guess no one really talks about is that you can do all the fun design stuff you want, but if you fuck up your reset, like you're kind of screwed.
You should see how we do CSS resets in Braid, our design system. I'm pretty proud of it. Like it's a locally scoped reset.
How does that even work?
Yeah, so we have everything boils down to a box component, right? And you tell the box like which component it should be, right? So in our case, the prop's called component. Everyone else calls it as. So we got that wrong. But so you say like box as, H2, whatever, right? There's a style sheet, a locally scoped style sheet that goes with that box. And it basically like looks up a class for the reset.
Got it.
And so what's cool about that is it means you get all the benefits of it feels global in the fact that it affects everything. But you can technically mix and match different versions of the same library, in theory, where it's like they all have their own resets. You could even, to your point, you could introduce a new reset and sort of selectively opt into it, or you could have a context that says, I want the new reset.
Right.
And it's just simple.
I think the browser shouldn't even have default styles. I think it should just be fucking completely unstyled by default.
I agree 100%. But then those would be different. Right? Like it would be like they like reset them differently and it'd be even more annoying.
How could you reset it differently if it doesn't have anything?
Yeah, I know.
Then again, I think the whole thing should be written in Canvas, so fuck me, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean,
Mark, can you tell me about Australia? I've never been, and I'm fascinated. Jared, have you been to Australia?
No, but I know it's 9 a.m. for Mark, and that's
9 a.m.
earliest guest. I don't know how you want to phrase that, but it's definitely the earliest.
Usually people are drinking alcohol on this podcast. You're sitting there with a fucking orange juice.
Is it coffee?
Could be a mimosa, Ken. You don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I drink at 9 a.m, but that's a different story altogether.
He's also in the future. It's Friday for him.
That's right.
It's Friday right now. Oh my god,
yeah.
Friday, motherfucker!
It totally
it's
changes
still Thursday.
the entire
dynamic
podcast.
Right? Like,
Friday for you.
We have a guest that's already living the dream.
Right, basically.
We're still sitting here on Thursday night like a bunch of fucking plebes. It's unbelievable. So tell me, what's Australia like? You're in Melbourne.
Yeah,
you say it Melbourne.
We say Melbourne.
Melbourne.
We don't pronounce
say
the
it.
OU.
Say it out loud.
Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne.
Melbourne.
What's it like?
It's beautiful. I'm actually from New Zealand originally. A lot of people don't know this about me.
You're a fucking Kiwi.
Yeah.
That's not like a slur, is it? Or like fucking derogatory term?
Well,
it's an accepted thing.
If it was, Ken, thank you for using it.
I know, right? No, I know a guy that called himself a Kiwi that was from fucking New Zealand, but you never know. It was a public podcast that fucking tear me apart.
Oh, is Kiwi? No, Kiwi's fine. Wait, Kiwi's great.
Kiwi's okay?
No, what I was going to say is what I thought you meant is like there's like a rivalry between Australia and New Zealand, kind of like I'm guessing similar to like the States and Canada. Similar kind.
There's no rivalry. Fucking, we're better than them. You kidding me?
Australia is great. It's beautiful. It's chilled. But I don't live around kangaroos and stuff like that.
That's a shame.
Is that like a specific section where kangaroos are?
Yeah, well, it's like I guess similar to the States, right? Like there are big patches of desert, and then there are like concentrated cities at the coasts and whatever. It's very very similar in that respect, right? So I don't live in the parts where the kangaroos live. Kangaroos
are terrifying. I saw some video of an actual like in America, most of your exposure to kangaroos is like stuffed or cartoon kangaroos. But I watched some video where this kangaroo came up to this dude's back door, and the fucking shit was like 6 feet tall with claws. I was like, yo, fuck that thing. And then I saw another thing where like fucking dudes in Australia fight them apparently. Or maybe it was just one dude that fought a kangaroo one time, but like those are terrifying fucking beasts.
We've got big spiders, I think, relatively. I've nothing
you have
really
big spiders?
Yeah, no, I mean not like the cliches probably, but
big
decent
enough
ones. Yeah, like the ones we watch out for are redback spiders. They're the common, sort of the common dangerous spider that we'll see.
That's fascinating.
It's great. I mean, dude, you can just read the phone book at this point with your accent and all that, and like I'm sure you just give conference talks, and people are just like, "Wow, this person's smart." It's kind of like Rich,
it's
like
same
Rich
thing
Harris,
with the British.
Same thing. It's
yeah,
just
the British, the
accent.
Aussies.
There's something about talking about web development and accents. Like
Commonwealth credibility.
Yeah, it's
it goes both ways though, right? Like when we like, it feels like if you're American, you come to Australia, you're instantly like in charge of things.
You're kidding.
You sound like you know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's the complete opposite in America.
Yeah,
the British like when we were kids, like all of like our fucking like fairy tales and shit, like all like the professors and nannies and authoritative figures were all British.
Maybe that's just it. Maybe everyone just, reveres everyone else's
British,
accents.
yeah, basically.
You don't hear your own accent, right?
So Mark, tell us a little about how you got into development, and like tell us about your origin story.
Yeah, I got into coding like at a pretty young age, but then dropped it because it was too hard. I was probably 10. I learned a little bit of Q Basic. I actually taught myself. Yeah, I actually taught myself my times tables in primary school by writing a command line quiz. And that was basically the only program I ever wrote until I was much older. But then separately, so that was like in the back of my backstory. But then I was just, it was the 90s. I was super interested in the web, just in general. Like there's a lot of buzz about it. I was into computers, but like my computer was, not connected to the internet, not connected to anything else. So it was like, for me, the idea that, I could be like sending stuff to my friends and all of that. Like it just, even as a kid, like I could tell like that was just amazing, right? Like, and so I picked up a book when we were out shopping one day with the family. Like there was a book on the shelf about HTML, creative HTML design. And I picked up that book and kind of that was that. Like I was just into, even though again I didn't have the internet at home at the time. Our computer was like too old and rusty for the internet apparently. But it could run a web browser and it could make I could write HTML, and that was kind of it. And then so everything I've done is like building on top of that foundation. Like I was interested in HTML and design and that, like the web as a design medium. And then I learned CSS and then eventually picked up JavaScript. And I was very lucky in that like programming was too intimidating for me in general, but JavaScript was so simple back then. We've changed that now, obviously. But like you just throw some scripts around and there you go. You've got some stuff happening on your page. Like it was very,
you go to
very
school for this shit?
Sort of. Like I went to, yeah, like I didn't really get anything out of it though. Like I think I went to TAFE is what we call it here. I think like a trade school is what you call it.
Wow,
is that right?
They had programming trade school?
Yeah, well yeah, like we learned Java and JSP and
usually like here, like you learn how to be like a plumber or some shit.
Maybe I've got the term wrong. I don't know. Community college.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah, that one. Hey, I got it mixed up.
I too learned Java there.
Yeah, it wasn't very helpful. I think if anything, that almost scared me off programming even more because I'm like, this is not fun. I'm not enjoying this at all. I just want to make websites. Like,
so I'm curious, when you're not programming, what are you into? I know you're a family man, but what else do you like? If you weren't doing programming, what would you be doing? What are your passions?
Well, this is the thing. This is where maybe it sounds sad. It is my passion, programming.
Still.
Well, it's
That's
tricky.
A beautiful thing.
If I had the time for it, like you said, I'm a family man now. I've got no time for anything. Basically,
heard that.
Like even just sitting down to play a video game to me feels like work because I just want to sleep. I'm so tired.
I don't sleep, so
yeah.
Too much.
I like. Yeah. So I guess that's the answer of what I'm doing. Other than programming, is playing a little bit of Switch.
Yeah,
that's
Switch is your shit.
Love that.
Ken, you just downloaded Cyberpunk, right? How's that? I got.
It's really good.
It's good.
It's really good. So it's funny. Like the first 5 minutes of the game, right? At least in the track that I fucking chose, right? You walk into this bar, right? And you look around, and it's very fucking sad. I've played maybe 10 minutes tops of it. My kids came down and wanted to watch Peppa Pig or some shit. So I go and I look, right, and on the wall of the bar, they have this neon sign that's amazing. It has this fucking eye. It has this head, and then underneath it says "fuck to death." And I already started communicating with an Etsy neon sign seller about getting that made custom. It's gonna be so fucking sick, dude. I want to put it in my studio. It's gonna be good. God, what a good game.
All right, it's gonna take a day and a half to download for me, but I'll
really
get that shit started.
Fucking Connecticut plebe internet.
Yeah, exactly. Mark, back to design system for a second. What's like the most common mistake that people make in React these days that you'd like to see corrected?
Besides using it.
Besides using it. Well done, said Ken. Yeah, that's a good one. Good zing, Ken. Really good zing. Got him. We got him. Yeah.
React specific. I don't know. That's a tricky narrowing it down to React. I don't know if this is. I don't know if this. I don't know if the. Well, maybe just like throwing CSS on everything. Let's say that.
Cool.
Like versus using like inheritance.
As in rather than like trying to build up a DSL. You know, like, because I mean that's the beauty of components, right? It's like you get to be like, okay, CSS is just like private detail of a component, right? Like I try to get those components as small as possible, but like composable. Whereas like I think if you just start throwing CSS props on everything, like I have nothing against the CSS prop as a concept, but like if you start just having giant walls of markup with or Tailwind or whatever it is, like just styles thrown over everything. I feel like I'm back in my head, like I'm back in what I used to be doing in Angular days where I'm just writing these like templates, right? Like entire pages of just stuff going on.
So I'm curious, like, you know, being a connoisseur of the design system, what is your take on web components?
Ken.
You're setting me up. This is a controversial one, Ken. Thank you.
I know.
They're not useful. It's not controversial.
We're here to have fun. Well, no, the thing is, so it's a very cheap and stupid way to make a design system cross applicable. But you know, like if you want, like say you were to switch away from React internally, how do you remain resilient with the design system that you have in place? How do you draw the line so that you don't fuck yourself by getting married to a framework?
I don't know if there's a way to avoid that, really, ultimately. Like, I mean, I think what you can do in a design system sense, I think this is where it's useful to sort of separate out like, well, this is where React shines and that the CSS is at least separate. You know, you could say like, you know, we use, well, like if you're talking about Tailwind, right? Like if you just go all in on Tailwind, you're not coupled to React for that aspect of it. So that's a good way to do it if you're concerned about that.
It really works nicely too with marketing sites. Like if you actually just need to have a static, like you can prototype. What I like about Tailwind too is you can prototype Tailwind without React. Like you don't need to, and you just toss it in there and it works, which is kind of nice, right? But yeah, but I don't know, Ken. Like, dude, you're gonna rewrite your app anyway. Like this idea that you're gonna like keep your
have this code base forever.
What?
That's I was telling somebody, I forget what I was talking about, but it's like
so dumb.
It's like, you know, you write this code like it's gonna be around for 15 years, but you design this shit every year and a half anyway. So
it doesn't matter, dude. They're gonna change the colors, gonna change the theme, you're gonna redo it no matter what, or it's gonna evolve and look like shit. Like it doesn't matter. Like this idea that you're gonna like reskin your app, like fucking bullshit. It's not real.
I do reskin the app, but we didn't switch frameworks.
Right. No, that's what I mean. Like if you're switching to Svelte, like you're gonna make some tweaks.
Yeah, that's safe to say. You're gonna make several tweaks. But I mean, if you're a corporation, that's a different fucking story, man. Like if you build up if you're like a huge corporation and you've built up this like not only like design system, but like style language and all this infrastructure around it, like, you know, like switching to Svelte isn't this fucking flippant decision, right? It's
no, of course not.
It's like, shit, how the fuck are we going to do this?
But the idea that you're going to like reuse the same exact classes is also not necessarily like,
I mean, it would be nice.
It'd be nice, but it's not like it's not a, there's so much money being thrown at this. It's not like, if it's not possible, I feel like it's not the worst thing in the world.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me because, you know, fucking, if anything, you get paid for a longer duration.
It's almost because it's components and there's, and at least with Svelte, you have like encapsulated styles, like re-implementing it, even though there'd be like two sources of truth, whatever, in Svelte, like if you're going to Svelte, like wouldn't be the dumbest idea.
What I'm saying is if I own the company,
yeah,
I'd be like, how do we make this suck less? And if you're a big old company, you don't give a fuck. But if you're like a smaller, kind of real punchy, aggressive little heel pit bull, so to say, right? Like, yeah, you wanna get in front of that, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Mark, do you think having a design system is an asset or a liability? Or does it depend on how well it's maintained?
If I was to pick one, I think asset for sure.
Interesting.
Because I've seen the lack of a design.
Did you guys freeze or did I freeze?
No, I'm good.
Mark froze.
Mark's not
very pensively. He's very pensively
he looks great.
froze.
Looks phenomenal.
Man, I freeze and it looks terrible. It looks like I'm fucking half into a cheesesteak bite.
Yeah.
He's frozen pensively like he's making fucking the best point that ever got made.
I know. We should DM him, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna DM him right now.
But in the meantime, Ken, I'll toss it to you.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think if you don't work, if a design system's not like core to your product, you shouldn't fucking use it. Like you should just use Material UI, Blueprint. Like I really think you're wasting time. Like
there's a point at which it makes sense.
Oh, I agree with you. But I also think there's from an early product perspective, you're starting something new and you don't have like crazy amounts of funding and all this other stuff. Like you have to make your decisions wisely, right? Like if you're trying to like, it really depends on your idea, I guess too. But I definitely see too many apps like I'm going to build this custom and it doesn't add anything to the product in any way, shape, or form, right? Like it doesn't.
Yeah, it's just busy work.
It's just busy work, and you're slowing yourself down because you're like, instead of taking an off the shelf thing that's built with Material UI or add design.
It's like a sharded database for some shit that 10 people use.
Right. And then you're going to waste another day rebuilding it anyway. You rebuild the same fucking thing and it's going to be not as good. But, or I don't know. I've also been in situations where great design system, because it copies like some of the best stuff, but like doesn't actually implement everything. And so you're in the same situation where you've got like great buildups of things that like are used, but it doesn't have everything. And so you're sort of limited there in some respects. I don't know.
It's going all in on it is a commitment. And I think that one of the biggest things, right? One of the biggest facets of why you would do it is to establish consistency across a suite of applications, right? If you're making one app, like, right? If it's a big enough app, right? Sure, right? But like, if you're at a place that has external apps as well as internal apps,
makes sense,
and you don't want people fucking wasting time on bullshit styling, then I think it makes a ton of sense because there's something to be said about having a cohesive surface to all of this, right? Where it's like you're not going from app to app and it's a different fucking thing, as titillating as that may be. Like there's always going to be the one that people love to use because it's fucking great and looks good, and that's the one that everything should look like.
I agree. And then also if you're also managing vendors and you're having like if you're a big corp and you're like, I'm gonna have people work for my on something for my company, having that like well documented design system just pays so many dividends, so they don't just make shit up on their own. I remember I was doing consulting. We were building the design system just for that reason for this very large media company. And what we saw when we evaluated the project was an absolute shit show. They had hired all these vendors that had basically rolled everything on their own for each one of these individual apps. And it was an absolute nightmare.
It's just mayhem. And getting that under the same roof feels good.
Yeah.
Specifically for the upgrade path, right? Because if you decide to change something else, it's a lot easier. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to, and also I think, but I think it's also not. I feel like it's something that's you can grow into, and if you're no one's gonna if you're a startup or you're trying to do a hack on a side project, totally not worth it,
dude. If I started, and I'm not gonna start a startup because I'm risk averse, right? But let's say I did start a startup. If you think I would have these motherfuckers out here fucking trying to build for scale, you're out of your mind. I'd be like, fucking do it all inline. Fucking make it the most disgusting code you've ever seen in your entire life. Fucking get this shit done. Make it I just want this shit to work. I want an MVP in the fucking capital letters.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I feel you. Like I would just jump into like Material or jump into Blueprint or
they're like,
jump
no, but I need to set up all these fucking serverless nodes and
yeah. That's sort of the hype-driven
yeah,
development
get
thing.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So
Fuck
it's just
this shit.
absolutely ridiculous, and you waste like time, money, and resources. And it's like, honestly, I think it's like a procrastination thing on at the end of the day. Sometimes with like some people, they just
I like to call it the
like,
procrastination masturbation paradox.
the procrastination, if you will.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix of both, and it's in response to a fear to getting work done. And
Where you'd rather spend the afternoon working on like a fucking modal, and you're like, I'm gonna make it super. Not that accessibility is not something you should care about. You should care about it, but you should care about it like indirectly by picking an existing tool that already deals with it.
yeah, that's the thing.
Not
Fucking
not
accessible modals exist. So
it exists. And that's something you should be coding by scratch.
Jimmy
Like,
fucking Q coder who doesn't know shit about accessibility shouldn't be
but
trying to
they'd
rewrite his
rather spend
own.
the afternoon like, I'm gonna have a better modal API. You know, like,
Yeah, I'm gonna sit here and read the fucking standards and try and implement it personally. Fuck you.
well, it's just like, I don't really want to build this feature. Is really what you're doing.
Use Reach. Get the fuck out of here.
Use Reach. No, dude, the new thing, React Spectrum from Adobe.
Really?
That new shit. Yeah, dude. The Adobe team is like, so that they did was this, not Spectrum, Aria and Stately. So they have this, their like component library is like split into three things, like React Aria, React Stately, and React Spectrum is their actual library.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
He's back. Welcome back, Mark.
I'm back.
Back in business.
React Aria is like just the accessibility parts. React Stately is like the state. And then React Spectrum's like their own design stuff. But you can use like React Stately and React Aria with like Tailwind. And all you do is the styly fun part. And they take care of all of the accessibility and like state for like a lot of these complicated. No, it's not done yet, but it's farther along than Reach UI. It's like if Reach UI kept going.
Mark,
Welcome
there.
back.
I'm here.
Did a kangaroo bite through your internet wire?
Yeah.
Did a crazed man with a boomerang take out your internet service?
Our internet in Australia is known for being a bit flaky.
Is it really?
Yeah, well, they rolled out what's called the NBN, which is the National Broadband Network, and it's a bit of a punching bag because it didn't quite work out as well as intended.
Wait, you have socialist internet
in our country, like everywhere. We just don't have it. We just gave up.
Huh?
We just gave up in the United States. We were just like, you know what? All you rural towns, you don't fucking need broadband. It's all good.
Actually, the rural towns are the ones who have the sickest shit.
Well, some of them do. Some of them took it into their own hands. But
well, no, it's not that. It's that they don't have pre-existing infrastructure, so it was much easier to do. Like we are in Northeast Megalopolis, where this existing infrastructure already exists, so it doesn't make sense to replace. Sure. But like you go like some fucking
oh yeah, there are a couple
like,
towns that have like
fucking like Nashville or something. I don't know, like fucking some not to shit on Nashville, right? It's a lovely place, but I'm just saying like somewhere like fucking like that, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, here's gigabit internet, have fun. Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, here's gigabit internet. You didn't have fucking internet in the first place.
You go to Singapore and it's like terabit internet or some shit. Like
really?
No, it's not terabit, but it's like gigabit. Like
it's like outrageous.
Oh yeah, when I was in the city the other day, I actually got 5G for a second, and I was like,
"The fuck did you do in the city?"
I was just like visiting my brother and whatnot. But dude, I actually like got like legit Prime certified 5G. What, dude? It's nuts.
Really? Is it crazy?
It's pretty.
You
wild.
have a 12?
I do have a 12.
I didn't get the 12 yet.
Yeah, I got the 12. Oh, my new iPad comes tomorrow.
Which one? Oh, you got a mini.
I got the Air.
Air. That's right. Yeah.
I just like
you
don't
didn't get
need
the Pro.
I'm not taking fucking. I'm not gaming on it. Like, it's like.
Yeah, but you have the keyboard and shit.
I got the keyboard though.
Mark, you've been to America?
Very briefly. I
Where'd you go?
To San Francisco for like 8 hours and then flew out.
Man, what a terrible place to be in, to like go to America and get like a snapshot of America. Can you please come to the tri-state area?
Someone needs to invite me to a conference or something. That's the only time I travel. Well,
I will throw a conference for the fucking distinct reason of bringing you to America so you can go to like the rest of it. Because like, if you come to America and all you see is San Francisco,
And it was Y Combinator too. That's what I saw.
Oh man,
Basically-
you're like this place is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
You're like,
went to Y
half these people
Combinator,
are
had a
billionaires. The
burrito,
other half are
and
just
then-
shitting
and
on the
beer and
street.
left.
This is fucking nuts. Go on.
Oh, that's pretty much it. It was just I was doing some like some freelance work at the time for a guy who got invited to like present his startup at Y Combinator, and asked if I wanted to join in, and I was like, sure, let's do it. And didn't make it, but it was a good experience. Got to
That's
see
cool.
a little bit. Got to see the Golden Gate Bridge and have some nice beer, and then leave.
Did you eat any food?
Yeah, burrito, massive one. You're like, it's known for us here in Australia. It's known that American food portions are just ridiculous.
Was it too big for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't know what to
Like
do. with it.
what's like your normal food portion? Like if you have dinner later tonight, what's it going to be?
I don't know. Well, keep in mind I'm quite
He's
small.
at breakfast. It's just like he hasn't even. He just woke up, man. And you forget. Like,
Yeah.
he's
What did
not-
you have for breakfast?
I didn't have anything for breakfast today.
This guy's just running
Coffee.
fucking lean. No, like if you were gonna have like a dinner, like what would it be? Like
I don't know. Well, I'm going out for dinner tonight. We got our Christmas thing.
Dude,
Oh
the
my
pandemic's
goodness.
over for you guys. You guys should just fucking go outside already. Oh yeah, I think Australia's like fine.
Yeah, we like eliminated it.
imagine
We've had zero
what
cases
you can go to.
for like
Wait,
40
wait.
days.
You can
Motherfuckers
like
are,
go
like,
to
done.
stores without a mask.
It's complicated. So, well, I'm in like the strictest state in Australia. So, like, we're behind other people in terms of.
Are you in the
loosening
New
up.
Jersey of Australia?
I don't know what that means, but let's say yes.
Yeah, it's like
It's like almost gone there.
Oh, is it almost gone in New Jersey?
Fuck no.
fuck no. It's like the
Wait, it's
worst it's
rampant.
ever
like
been.
yesterday was like all time high in deaths. Like this is terrible.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I
But it's still very strict.
Yeah. But like, can I like?
Right.
I'm pretty sure like Australia or maybe New Zealand is the one that's like basically eradicated it.
Yeah. There's like
they did
5
it first.
cases or something.
We got up to like 700 a day, and that was scaring everyone. And then they locked down really hard, and it took us a while, but we got it. We actually got like it dragged on for so long that people were really starting to like lose their nerve a bit and be like, we're never going to get to zero. This is ridiculous. Like, we're just going to be stuck, like sort of flatlining at some low number forever. But we did. Then we actually hit zero. I didn't think we were going to hit zero, and we did. And we've stayed there, and it's pretty impressive. So
I love the way you say the word hard. You've said it like 4 or 5 times since you've been on the podcast.
hard.
And if I ever went to Australia, I'd be. It's just I'm hard. It's incredible. Look at Charity's
HAHD.
so fucking
That's how
hard.
we spell it.
HAHD.
Yeah.
Out in the paint.
So
Hard.
with the mask question, with the mask question, I can now go outside without a mask. We couldn't.
Oh my
not that long
God.
ago.
Dude,
Like
what?
it was a bit is a bit full on, because like if I literally just went for a walk by myself around the block, I would still legally have to wear a mask.
But
Like,
not
if-
anymore.
It was not anymore. So I only have to wear a mask now if I go to a supermarket. Do you call them supermarkets?
Yeah.
Grocery store.
I call it the food store. Everybody
I
thinks that's
go
funny
to-
for some reason.
Yeah, if I go to like a big department store or something, any kind of like big
But
indoor
do you have to
space,
wear it at the Christmas party tonight?
No. So
Dude,
it's
what the fuck?
No,
Right.
if it's just going to like like walking down the street, going into a
Fucking
restaurant,
kidding me?
don't have to wear a mask. Well, yeah, at the moment, well, because we're at zero. Like what we're not that worried about it at that level. At the
Next year, Ken, around this time we'll be there. Next year.
No, we won't.
Yeah, probably not. But like maybe next year.
It can easily change
anyways.
though. Like you just got to import one and off it goes. I mean, that's what happened last time. We had our second wave.
Is it weird that I have a little bit of a crush on Jacinda Ardern?
Yes, it is.
Why is that weird? She's an extraordinarily attractive and talented woman.
Oh my goodness.
You're a married man, Ken.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You can window shop. You just can't purchase. Am I right?
Oh my goodness. All right. On that fine note, ladies and gentlemen. Ken, we gotta do an ad read.
Yeah, we sure do. And our sponsor today is motherfucking G2I, which rules, might I add. G2I is the only marketplace on the internet for specialized developers. They focus on finding and vetting JavaScript developers that have deep domain knowledge in one or two areas. When you hire a React Native developer on the G2I platform, they will have passed a test specifically designed to vet their intricate knowledge of the ins and outs of React Native. With vetting that is extremely deep, each G2I developer goes through cultural vetting, language assessment, a code challenge, and a technical interview that are specific to the tech stack the developer wants to work with. Right? So G2I believes in complete transparency in the hiring process. You'll receive technical profiles of each developer that includes a detailed assessment and performance ranking of their code challenge and technical interview. G2I will also provide the code a developer wrote and access to a recording of their technical interview. I promise you, it fucks. You can learn more about how G2I can pair you with the perfect developer for your project and budget. You go to g2i.co/sign up, and that's how you get started. I can't say enough good things about G2I. I had a friend ask me earlier. He was like, "Fucking, oh yeah, I'm looking for like work and shit, and I'm, anybody hiring?" I was like, "I don't, but you fucking check out G2I, man. You fucking contract, make some bread." It's crazy. Like when you're contracting, like you really make some fucking bread. Like
indeed you do.
You lose like cash. The stability, I suppose, of like salaryman work, but like it is just bread.com/paid.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's not going away. I think, you got to pay the bills. Like you do some contract work and then around the rest of the year, Yeah.
Yeah. You're a contractor.
A little bit sometimes.
Again, I'm too risk averse.
I'm a mercenary sometimes.
I'm a fucking dad with a mortgage.
I only do it. I don't do it like full time anymore, any way, shape, or form. I just do specific projects to like cover my rent for the year now, and then I don't need to work.
If I was a young man,
work on Formium,
I would contract my fucking balls off.
Yeah, I mean, you just get that cheddar, right? Like it's
it'd just be cheddar.
By the way, if you are like freelancing, don't call yourself a freelancer. That's like the first fucking rule. We should do a freelance episode.
Really?
What do you call yourself?
You call yourself a consultant.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's the first rule of freelancing.
Mark, that's a firm beard you have there.
Yes, Mark. It's impressive.
It used to be a lot bigger. When we went into lockdown, I was like, this is my opportunity to not trim my beard for ages and see what it looks like. Got a bit.
And how did it look?
Homeless
at times.
It got out of control.
The problem was I didn't know how to tame it.
You need, beard oil. You need the whole thing.
No, that stuff is fine in terms of buying stuff. But what I mean is like just the technique of how do you cut it so that it doesn't look misshapen or whatever.
Got it.
Found that was hard.
And
yeah, I gave up on it.
I have like a buzzer, right? And my beard grows like an Italian fifth grader anyway. But I fucking I have the fucking thing, right, where I constantly just try and keep it at the same length.
Yeah.
Different parts grow longer and I just try and keep it at the same length.
It's called trimming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think you just discover this. Like, is this like a new thing for?
Well, yeah, I never actually let it grow out before. I don't like hair. I've been very anti-hair for a long time. I have a full head of hair. I fucking shave it. I fucking hate hair. By the way, I like this little fucking Jimmy Neutron fucking Clark Kent thing you have going on right now. It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I just like I need to give myself a haircut. So
is that like a bouffant or what do they call that?
I don't know, dude. I just gotta it's the Jimmy Neutron. Call it that. Just give it to me like that.
It's kind of adorable.
Oh, it's so cute. Actually, you're looking a little not so bald right now. You got that. I
know. Yeah, there's some real scruff.
I thought you were lying to me about that hair thing, and I was like, oh shit, like he actually fucking does have hair.
Yeah, no, it's there. It's just
because your brother has a full head of hair.
Oh no, my whole family has a full head of hair.
You just choose to be bald because you're more aerodynamic when you.
Well, no, I have like this shit like that goes like the fucking hairline goes back like that. Like I'm like Kevin Bacon or Mel Gibson or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that sort of thing, right? But it's it's a full head of hair.
Yeah.
So, Mark, on this show, every single time we do it, we have a thing called picks, where you take something that you think fucks, and you tell the folks at home so they can understand and they can fuck as well. Do you have anything? Well, I'll start with you, Jared. What are your picks for the week?
AWS's new stuff. I was playing around with it. So today I couldn't get it to work, so maybe it shouldn't be a pick, but like I'm sure I'm just gonna call Natter and be like, yo, what the fuck? But basically AWS Amplify announced container services today, which is nice. It's like Fargate ECS, like managed. Basically, they did like the Vercel thing, the Vercel 1.0, where you like do all this Docker stuff. But I couldn't get it to work. I spent like 2 hours trying to get it to work. So yeah, we have to, I'm gonna holler at Natter and see what the fuck is up. But yeah, so like Amplify is now container servers, is pretty sweet. And then the other thing, this iOS game I'm playing called Little Big Snake. It's actually pretty fire. It's basically like, the old Snake game on your phone, classic, right?
Yeah.
So this is like basically battle royale Snake with like a bazillion people, and your snake just grows. Other people have snakes, and your snakes just keep growing and shit, and you like can go fuck other people up and kill them. And you just grow your shit. It's awesome. I play it with my nieces. And it's mindless fun. It's just like hilarious. So Little Big Snake, that's my like game of the week, I guess. I gotta download Cyberpunk. I gotta just start that download.
Cyberpunk's very good, but it's not my pick.
It's not your pick. What's your pick?
Oh man, what is my pick for this week?
Oh, third pick. Wait. That thing that
third
Evan,
pick. Throw it out there.
that sauce, which I don't even remember the name of, because I just fuck that
sauce.
Yeah,
no. Old Grandma Chili Crisp.
I bought
that shit too.
It's so good.
It is so fucking good.
So good. I made shrimp scallion pancakes last night or 2 nights ago, and I put it on it. Phenomenal.
Really? I put it on fried rice. And I also put it in ramen, and it was lovely.
Oh, it's got that MSG tingle to it. It's like,
I'll tell you what, man, that is good shit, man. I fucking like it. It's a little crispy, but it's good. It's not too hot. It's not too hot at all, but it's just right.
So shout out to Evan Yu for giving that suggestion.
Yeah, he fucking threw it out
on it, and it was pretty good. All right, sorry, Ken. Now your picks.
I totally forgot my picks for the week. I got to think about it again for a second. Like, what are my picks for the week? My picks for the week. Oh, have you ever had chicken Kiev?
Yeah.
It's really good. I've had it like out, but like then like I have these meat guys, these Italian guys that show up in my driveway with a fucking cooler in the back of a pickup truck.
Hold on, back up what?
Yeah. So so like I was hanging out one day at my old house, and these fucking guys are in my driveway, right? These two Itals, right? And they're like, hey, oh, and I came over. I'm like, what's up, buddy? And they're like, hey, we got these meats. We do the meats for the guy next door. Yeah, we wanted to see if you want them. I'm like, all right, let's see what you got here. Let's see these meats. So they fucking open the cooler, right? And these guys have like individually shrink wrapped like ribeyes and shit like that. And I've been buying meats off them for a long time now, right? Like fucking 2 years probably, maybe longer. And they come with new shit all the time. I always get ribeyes or always get porterhouses or something like that. But then I'll go with a weird pick, right? Like this week I went with like fucking apple brie chicken stuffed, like apple brie stuffed chicken breasts. I might have that in like a minute. I don't know what she made. She's on my podcast nights. My wife cooks, so maybe
I know podcast night's the best.
Yeah. It might be like a vegetarian meatball with spaghetti, but it very well might be this fucking brie apple chicken. But they gave me chicken Kiev, and I'll tell you a funny story about this chicken Kiev.
Please.
I made it in a toaster oven, which you can do, and I got all fucked up, and I made it at like midnight, and like the inside of chicken Kiev is basically butter, so
like
so it leaked all over the bottom of the toaster oven, and these kids wanted like toast in the morning, so the shit is all over the bottom of the toaster oven, so it like makes the whole house smoky and fucked up. It's like lighting on fire. So my wife is like, clean it. So I went in there with a paper towel in the morning, all fucked up, right? Like all hungover. And I went in there and I burnt my hand like really bad.
Oh, dude, how bad?
Like fucking like like the bar in a toaster oven, like the red bar.
Yeah.
Like I had like 2 bar marks. I had like the first one, which was deep, and then the second one, which was a little bit more shallow because I went back in to clean it out. It was fucked up, man. But yeah, that chicken cat fox, dude. What an amazing food.
Dude, as a developer, hand injuries are probably one of my biggest pet peeves.
I know.
I fucking hate it when I
know what was crazy though?
Hurt my hands in any way.
What was crazy about it was that it was so hot that it like cauterized it. Like it didn't hurt. And you get like burn and you get like a blister that rises up off of your shit. Like
terrible.
It wasn't even like that. It just like fucking sealed the skin shut. And it was just like this crazy looking red line on my fucking like it never blistered, never hurt. It was just like this like piece of skin that fucking died and is never coming back to life. It was that hot.
Did you ever look into insuring your hands?
I did. I actually have a quote out right now. I'm looking into it. Like I literally have a quote in my mailbox. I need to call the guy back right now. Look at this. She just told me. She says spaghetti or veggie rotini. Fuck that. I'm having spaghetti tonight, boy.
I would insure my hands, I think.
You can insure your hands for a fucking significant amount, believe it or not.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like
it's really the bet. Can you imagine if your fucking thumb got cut off and you couldn't hit a space bar, what your life would be like?
Well, I use
my Twitter. I can't remember who the guy was, but there was a guy on Twitter who did like all voice-driven coding.
And that was Josh.
Like a lot of the blind guys do, but Josh.
Yeah, that's it. That's right.
Yeah, and that was really cool. But I'm not going to do that. So
I'm not trying to fucking do that. I mean, it's awesome he does it, and good for him. And sad he's hurt. But fuck
yeah,
like if I can avoid that, I'm gonna.
That'd be superb.
That would be sweet.
So my second pick is having someone else put your roof Christmas lights on. It was very emasculating. I'm not going to lie to you. But
you hired someone to do it.
I did. I did every other light. I just didn't do the roof. They were coming at me with this quote. They wanted to do everything, and I was like, not only is that too much money, but it's just unnecessary. So I had them do the roof line, and I can't recommend it enough. If you've ever been on a roof before, have you been on a roof before, Jared?
Yeah.
Have you been on a roof?
Like have I? Yeah, I have. But like not like a house roof, I guess. Like no.
Have you been 28 feet in the air?
Yeah. But like, I mean, yes, I have been 28 feet in the air. No, I haven't been on a house roof. But yes, I have been on a roof of like an apartment building or like in the city.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have you been on like a sloped fucking angled residential roof?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I've only done that when I was a kid, when I had no fear. If I did it now, I would be very scared. Probably.
My fat ass would fall off and crack the pavers, and God knows how much that would cost to fix. So, good investment. My third pick for the day. I don't know. Some folks might know, some folks might not. But I'm into recreational marksmanship, and I got a red dot sight, and it's called the Cobra. It's unbelievable. It's from Russia, and it's called the Cobra with a K. And it arrived.
How's your Russian? How's the Russian coming along?
My Russian's fantastic.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I could say I see fucking Привет, господин Palmer. Kto po profesii?
Okay, comrade. On that
Добрый день. Yeah, no. Yeah,
you have a new site? That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's fucking cool. It looks exactly so. It actually.
Have you been going shooting recently? Like, have you been going?
I have been. Yeah.
To the range? Is it still open? You can go to the range.
Yeah. So there's one that's outdoor.
Okay. Because there's a range by me, but it's indoors and they're not open.
The indoor one is open,
and the indoor one kind of sucks. You can't double tap.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They have like rules, and they also have like rules around what you can and can't shoot.
That's the thing. Like I took like a tactical pistol training course, and in it, right, like you have to do what's called a Mozambique drill. So it's 2 in the chest and 1 in the head. Mm-hmm. And the speed with which you would do that, you're not allowed to do it the regular range, so right?
You go through the same hole twice. Yeah.
That's considered rapid fire. They're like, fucking don't do that. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? But like when you're out here at the outdoor range and you're in the pits, they have this little thing where you hit this button and then like 5 or 10 seconds later, it's like beep. And then like when you hear the beat, right, you draw and then go pop, 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 and it'll actually time the shots.
That's cool.
And I was super impressed because apparently like I can shoot you twice in the chest and once in the face in 1.5 seconds,
which is useful, day to day, obviously.
Yeah. Like
skill.
Yeah, it's a very useful skill for a software engineer.
Exactly.
That Sits
Very
inside and is fat. But
So, Mark, what are your picks?
Sport.
I'm gonna pick some like workhorses, things that I just can't live without. Like because the first thing is like I know Jared keeps talking about it. I'm gonna throw another vote on it. Is change sets. It's changed my life.
Change sets fucks.
Yeah, like for me, like the biggest thing that I got out of change sets was it's dramatically improved our release notes. Like that was I would say that was the problem we needed to fix. We had semantic release. Like we were definitely big on, like we went through a phase of manually releasing our internal packages, and we were like, this is taking too much time. We need to automate it. So we went with semantic release. But then the problem with, if you've used semantic release, the problem is like you pretty much only have a commit message to describe.
Yeah, you only have 60 characters or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then we sort of went in and out of, well, do we write markdown in the commit like description or like what?
Then you gotta like fucking run it from the command line, which is whack.
Yeah, it was just and so it felt like as a result, our release notes were not great. And change sets just completely changed it. And now I like have a full markdown document that I can write for a given change. And I can have like code snippets in there and with syntax highlighting and everything. Like, and it's just like I could never go back. It's so good. It's
so good. And then it's so good, dude. I'm so happy that you fucking found that and like that it works for you. It's so fire.
Yeah. So if anyone out there is like doing package development and like manually releasing your stuff, just stop.
The only one that's comparable that's I liked, if you are doing like just the Git, the prettiest like commit based one I found was called MP, but that's for like a single package by Cindersaurus. I used to do the TSDX release notes with it or informed release notes with it. And it's like pretty nice, but it doesn't do like actual like changes or doesn't do like, you still do all the versioning yourself. Like what I like about change sets is it comes in and you can do it basically on GitHub. You don't actually have to like cut the release yourself, which is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing, like, I guess is worth calling out with change sets is I feel like they sell themselves a lot on being for mono repos, but it doesn't have to be a mono repo.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah. Like we use it on our design system, which is not a mono repo. It's just a single package, but it still works great.
Sweet. What else? Any others?
The other one is, this is a very safe one maybe, but like TypeScript. I was reminded yesterday.
That's too safe. You have to pick a different thing.
That is way too safe.
That's bullshit. Sorry.
I just want to say, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. No, I guess my other
pick,
let's go something next. The other one. This is actually, so this is something I haven't actually used myself. I've just sort of looked at, but
you haven't used TypeScript.
I still want to give a lot of props to it. Is Blitz Js?
Yeah.
That
should have said
interesting.
Yeah, the reason why is because I feel like as much as I enjoy the complexity of the JS ecosystem, I'm kind of pining for a simpler Ruby on Rails-esque stack.
Well,
if I want to go,
we're there with you, bud.
Just wait a few months with React Flight.
Right.
Stop it.
But yeah,
Ken's gonna be a grandfather by the time it comes out.
That's right.
I've missed the memo on this. What's the React Flight thing? I think I heard you mention.
We can't talk about it publicly.
No, we can't.
Okay.
Mark, can you tell me something like fucking quintessentially fucking Australian? Like Evan gave us this sauce to work with. Like what is something that I can order that's Australian that fucks? What's like the best thing in Australia? Other than Foster's.
I was gonna say Vegemite, but you like everyone.
I have Vegemite. That's fucking British.
Is it?
Oh, I ordered these Australian sunglasses this summer. I think a company's called Quay. They're like these like
Sunnies.
Stunner shades. They're like
Sunnies.
They're like stunner shades. They're like kind of cool. Not stunner shades, but there's like big square. They're pretty fucking fire.
Mark, one time I was in Thailand and I was body surfing and I lost my sunglasses. And these Australian guys were hanging out there and they were like, "Lost your sunnies, huh?" And I was like, What? What'd you say? He's like, "Lost your sunnies, huh?" And I'm like, I still have no idea what the fuck you just said to me. And he's like, "Lost your sunnies." Huh? I'm like, "Oh, my sunglasses. Yeah, I fucking lost them. Yeah, that's accurate. Thanks."
Yeah, that's what we do with the English language. We just shorten everything.
Lost your sunnies.
We have kangaroo meat.
I've eaten it.
I don't know if you know that we eat kangaroos,
dude. That's fucking.
With what frequency do you actually eat kangaroos?
Not very frequent. Well,
that
not for me
seems like
anyway.
not a Disney ending.
Yeah, I remember the first because again, remember I'm not from Australia. Like, so I had this similar sort of shock as a.
And you say you're not from Australia. Fucking, what do you mean? When did you come to Australia?
In 1999. So it's been. I lost my accent. I don't know if you can tell the difference.
Yeah. So what were you like? Fucking like 16?
I would have been. What was I? 14.
Yeah. 14. Get the fuck out. So you grew up where in New Zealand did you grow up?
I was born in Wellington, moved to Auckland when I was like 3.
Wow.
So yeah. But it's like your your teenage years, those are your formative years. That all happened here in Australia. So I consider myself Australian.
Do you go back with any frequency?
Not really. We went back recently. My parents moved back. They've stranded me here now. Went back
Classic
for my dad's
parents,
birthday.
am I right?
Do you make Lord of the Rings jokes a lot? like do you call your parents' house like Mordor and shit? Like what?
I feel like this is an American thing, the association. Maybe it's just me, but the Lord of the Rings New Zealand Association. Like,
yeah, I mean, totally is. Like I'm caught right.
I forget. I honestly forget about that.
Now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, but it's real.
It's real here though. That association.
Like anybody mentions New Zealand, there everyone's like, "Yo, I want to go there and go on the Lord of the Rings tour."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've never even seen Lord of the Rings.
We did go on the Lord.
You
of the
haven't
Rings
seen Lord of the
tour.
Rings, Ken?
No, I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
What the? You gotta get on that.
I just get drunk and watch Hot Tub Time Machine. Give me a break.
Oh my god. You know what my anti-pick is, dude?
What's your anti-pick?
Mandalorian. That's my anti-pick.
Whoa, that's a spicy anti-pick,
dude. That show sucks. I watch every episode, but that
show. Care to elaborate?
Fucking awful. I will elaborate if you will. Let me tell you why The Mandalorian, after 3 beers, is a fucking biggest piece of shit that's ever been put on television. Okay, so in an era of long 15-hour binge-worthy television, Disney Plus decides to put on a procedural, episodic, linear fucking TV show sold to you as binge-worthy content, but it is not. It is the equivalent of a Law and fucking Order.
Mm-hmm.
It is side quest after NPC after side quest after side quest after filler episode. It is terrible. No one on the fucking show lives for longer than 38 minutes.
My wife won't watch the shit.
No one.
Jared, I half agree with you.
It's terrible. It's fucking trash. What they should have done, and it's a disservice to Pedro Pascal. They forced him to wear that fucking helmet the entire time. What they should have done, at least, is run 2 timelines where he's like in the present and maybe in the past, where he could take off his fucking helmet and be Pedro Pascal. But instead, no. Instead, it's side quest after side quest with a different director every single show. There's no character development because no one lives that long. And just now, 13 seasons in, 13 episodes in, or two seasons in, we get the name of fucking Yoda, which is Grogu, which is horrendous.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm agree with you on this because...
And you know what? They just had an opportunity to do Lost or Game of Thrones in space, and they just fucking botched that shit. Botched it. It's ass. It's just ass. It's fucking...
You ready for a hotter take?
Yeah. I still watch it every week though, so I don't know. I don't say do it.
Every single piece of Star Wars media since the first 3 has been fucking hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Sorry.
Also, all of a sudden in the last episode, lightsabers now like don't cut through everything. There's now like this other steel shit that they don't cut through.
Oh well, that's a fun foil.
Yeah, laser swords. Fucking bullshit, dude. Don't even get me started about the last fucking movie, dude. Oh my god. I will just
garbage. It's absolute garbage.
Just no. My brother's the funniest though. He won't engage. He like will just change. He's just like, I can't talk about this.
He just gets that upset.
He just gets so mad that like he can't actually like verbalize his anger.
You know what the funniest thing is? When somebody like is a Star Wars person, has been in it since like, you know, since way back, and likes the new shit, you're like, fuck you.
I hate that.
Fuck you.
I hate
Literally,
you.
fuck you.
I hate you with a lot of passion.
They're like, no, it's fun to see it evolve. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Really, just terrible. Ugh. Also, the Clone Wars animated series, like that's not. I ain't it.
You know my favorite Star Wars recently? Fucking Lego Star Wars.
Actually, dude, it's so bad. Anyways, on that happy note,
Mark, what are the children's shows in Australia?
I have a lot of Star Wars opinions. What are the children's shows?
What do your kids watch?
We have it. I don't know if this, I feel like this is exported.
Fucking
we have
Bluey.
a cartoon called Bluey. Yeah, we go.
Bluey.
You already know.
Yeah, no, my
Bluey's
kids
so
fucking love Bluey.
I'm not surprised it's an export because like when you watch it, you're like, this is so good. Even like for Australian TV, this is so good.
Yeah,
It's
my kids watch. My kids
writing.
fucking love Bluey.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Dave?
Dave?
Did you watch Dave from? If you
Did you watch Dave?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is, Dave.
Oh,
bro, you have to watch
dude,
Dave.
is the best show this year.
Dave is the best show.
Besides The Witcher, which actually was the best show this year.
Dave is next level.
Next best show. Dave is the funniest show this year, hands down. Without
Dave is the funniest show. Dude, you remember when he's like, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go to this party and a bunch of tech people are gonna be there, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna go. I was like, yes, thank you.
It's just the best show. It's the story. It's like Lil Dicky.
So it's this rapper, Lil Dicky. Are you familiar with Lil Dicky?
No, you're making me feel very old and out of touch. I keep having to say
it's very like niche American. Don't worry about it. Like, but you need to watch it because you will laugh your fucking ass off.
Definitely the best show of the pandemic.
But by the time you get to the milking table, you're gonna fucking laugh so hard.
Milking shit's unreal.
Unfucking real. And then Gata, what a dynamic and fucking powerful character Gata is.
Yeah, it's just like subtly very, very powerful. The whole thing.
Like you know, like it starts off and you're like, this is like fucking stupid and funny, like, and then it takes like one of the most powerful dramatic twists I've seen in a series recently, right? Like a really authentic portrayal of mental illness. Like that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Like it was good because it wasn't bullshit. It was like real.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck, you have to watch Dave. You have to watch Dave.
So Mark, how can people follow you?
Twitter is the best place. So I wanted to throw in one non-tech pick. Very quickly,
okay. Yeah, throw one on.
Gimme.
Which is Super Mario Galaxy.
Woo.
I missed it the first time around, and I'm playing it now in the Mario 3D All Stars pack, and that is a brilliant game. Like tight game design, beautiful work.
Love it.
If you haven't played it, please play it. Have you guys played it?
I have not. I don't have a Switch.
I do have a Switch, but it's like very often not charged because the kids play the Switch.
Yeah, I have this problem too.
Yeah. So like you know what I have? I have this fucking thing.
Did you get a PS5? Are you buying the new Xbox, Ken?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not gonna like blow somebody to fucking get it. So it's like,
yeah, I'm just gonna wait
when it's like available to buy. I'm gonna pay money for it, but like I'm not gonna like sit there and like fucking like hack websites to get the fucking thing. Like,
are you gonna get the X or the S? Which one? Like the light?
Whatever the higher end one is, I don't give a fuck. You know.
Yo, how about those fucking AirPods Max? What's the deal with that? Yo?
They look so stupid, but I want them so bad. like it's the ugliest fucking unnecessary headphones. Like I literally have some fucking Bose QCs right here and I have AirPod Pros. You know, I'm still gonna buy them.
You are.
Yeah, because that's how Apple works.
That's how Apple works. That's how Apple do.
Are you?
I don't know.
Let me tell you how it's gonna go.
You're gonna get.
I'm gonna not buy them. I'm gonna be like an asshole. I'm gonna be like, no, they're fucking stupid. I'm not gonna buy them. And then I'm gonna be on an airplane sitting next to someone that has them on.
When are you?
I'm gonna fucking hate them the entire time.
Ken, when are you gonna be in the airplane?
I don't know.
But the next time you are, You'll see
The
them.
next time I am, I'm gonna see somebody with those fucking
I just
headphones.
don't
I'm
know
gonna see
when
them in
I'm
the
gonna wear
airport.
them.
I'm gonna be like, "You think you're fucking better than me?"
I
And
don't
I'm
know
gonna
when
get the
I'm gonna wear
headphone.
them. Like, when am I gonna wear these over the ear headphones? Like, fuck is that?
I wear over the ear headphones all the time.
And I just have speakers now. Like, I'm in my own.
I don't use
vibe, right?
speakers. I don't use speakers. Fucking, I have children that get pissed off, and I have a wife that gets pissed off. Like,
I feel that.
my entire life is in headphones. I sit there with one AirPod in on the couch watching fucking OnlyFans while they're fucking watching Peppa Pig. Who said that? We're still live, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. On that happy note, kids, we probably should end this episode. Thanks for joining us this week. Mark, thank you for coming along.
Mark, thank you so much.
Man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So yeah, on that happy note, kids, next week we'll be back for the Undefined podcast. I'm Jared Palmer.
And I'm Ken Wheeler. Fuck you guys. All of you.
All of you.
Fuck you.
And yes, all of you.
And Mark's great.
I love you though.
And
We love you
G2I is
too.
fantastic.
G2I is fantastic. And if you
I love
want to
G2I.
stay tuned, hit that subscribe button. Also, leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify or wherever the fuck. And I think Kent Dodds left us a review this week. So that's like kind of cool.
Did he really?
No, it's not Kent Dodds. It's
Oh, no,
someone-
I was going to say that's
Kent
pretty
Dodds, but
heavyweight.
it's pretty funny that they would do that to us.
Yeah.
Like, whoever did that, like, that's hilarious. In iTunes right now, you want to see a gem? It's like somebody wrote their name as Kent C. Dodds.
Yeah. Was it explicit? Because I'd appreciate that.
that would be amazing.
It would
Anyways,
be.
on that note, peace.
Peace the fuck out.